Two very significant weather events is unfolding this week, starting today. Exact words from National Weather Service is catastrophic, everybody. So first, we have the storm that's coming towards the Great Lakes, the Midwest, and Ohio Valley. This is going to bring chances for tornadoes tomorrow, but it will grow as we go from Wednesday into Thursday, going from the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley out through the Northeast, but it will start in the Midwest, bringing chances for strong tornadoes and a squall line potentially bringing widespread damage and winds as well. And that is the better of the two storms, everybody. So I need your help spreading this information. So what's happening in the south? You can see right now all the flooding taking place. This is going to get way worse. Plus, chances for tropical formation has gone up. So I have a lot of new information for you, showing that a dangerous storm and flooding event is unfolding in the south. This weather pattern setup will bring an unnatural ability to produce heavy rainfall. And that is exact words from National Weather Service, especially if it gets some help, if you know what I mean. Moisture from Christina is making this even worse. All the moisture is going all the way up into the atmosphere, all the way into the tropopause, everybody. A lot of moisture, and it's going to come back down as we get that low pressure forming right along the western Gulf. Some rainfall rates could go up to 5 inches per hour, with the normal, the common, being 3 inches per hour, everybody. Extreme flooding coming, with high totals of 8 inches or more. This will bring catastrophic flooding impacts to Texas, with the possibility to reach Louisiana and Mississippi also. This will greatly impact the I-20 corridor, so if you're traveling, be aware of the I-20 as well. This could result in multiple tornadoes along the Gulf Coast, and chances of a tropical system bringing winds as well is a great possibility. And this is putting us in multiple days of a moderate risk. I think a high risk is coming. You remember last time we had this upper level low over here, bringing that very deadly, unfortunately, flooding event. We're going to see more of this, everybody. Please take this seriously. Now, right now, we have a lot of flooding events going on for numerous stranded vehicles already, and water rescues are ongoing for this morning. Look at this. We're getting a lot of roads blocked. We're getting a lot of water rescues and flooding, and we're just getting started. And you see the exact words here from National Weather Service. The remnants from Christina is what's going to help bring this big flooding event. And this could fully saturate the atmosphere up to the tropopause, everybody. And just like I said in the beginning of the video, this will make the environment to have an almost unnatural ability to produce heavy rainfall. And this is resulting in widespread and locally catastrophic flash flooding, especially in any towns or cities that experience an extended duration of rainfall rates of this magnitude, showing that rainfall rates will be common for 3 inches per hour. That's already double of what the drains can take, and localized rates could be as high as 5 inches as well, everybody, per hour. And higher amounts could equal or exceed 8 inches of rainfall. So first, the latest update on what's going on with the remnants of Christina over here in the western Gulf, showing it has gone up to 20% in the next 48 hours, still 30% in the next 7 days. Still showing regardless of development, which I think we will have, everybody. It will still bring this dangerous flash flooding event, also chances for strong storms that could bring tornadoes. Showing chances for a tropical system to form is still a 50-50. It's still at a 50% chance. I think we will see it over here for southeastern Texas, right along the Gulf Coast, try and form up. Then it's going to go to unfavorable conditions. Then it's going to strengthen up again over here across the southeast, maybe even becoming a storm at that time as it moves away from the coast. Still showing the dynamics of the atmosphere as we have this high pressure all the way into the Gulf. We also have this upper level high over here along the west, and this is going to help everything get circulation on this system to start rotating and keep itself strengthened while it's over landfall, while it's an upper level low. And you can see this. So it stays this way all the way for Tuesday evening into Wednesday. Now, when we go through Wednesday evening, this is where we can get a chance for this low to form, and this is going to bring a tornado threat on the eastern side. Also, as it moves across from Wednesday into late Wednesday evening, it moves right over Texas. Now your tornado threat will be over here along Louisiana, so please be aware of this. And this could go all the way from Wednesday into Thursday as well before it gets on landfall, everybody. Still possibly as a tropical system, bringing a tornado threat, also some strong winds over here across the southeast. And I've seen a lot of people downplay this, and this is going to be a very bad event. It's very unfortunate if you ask me. Look at your integrated water vapor. So as all this precipitation is coming across all the way towards tomorrow, bringing all this heavy rainfall, you see it gets itself together right off the coast of Texas right there. Boom, strengthening up as we go through Wednesday morning. This is going to bring that tornado threat right along the coast of Texas. Also a lot of flooding all the way to Wednesday evening, moving East Texas into Louisiana. Then it will move across Louisiana into Mississippi as we go through from Wednesday into Thursday. Then you can follow it. It goes through Alabama by Friday morning, by Friday evening across Georgia and the Carolinas. This is going to be a huge problem. Latest on the wind gusts shows we're still bringing a lot of damage and winds all the way from the upper Midwest, across the Midwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, out through the interior Northeast, on our severe weather threat from Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. And you can see the winds that's coming in from this tropical system over here for western Texas, eastern Texas, and coming across the southeast, bringing chances for 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts in the least. Now, this is also going to bring a tornado threat in the south starting for today. National Weather Service don't have anything, but I got you covered. You can see here from Colorado State University showing that you have that chance for tornadoes in that green for today. For tomorrow, while we get that threat across Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, you can see with Colorado State University, this is bringing a tornado threat towards southern Texas again and across the southeast, everybody. And as we get closer, I'll have more information for you. So make sure you subscribe, click that bell, and select all. That way you get notified. Now look at this, the latest run. So this is with the Europeans showing we do get that tropical development right off the coast of Texas. Is bringing the tornado threat, the flooding threat. And as we go through from Wednesday, look how it moves further east of Texas into Thursday across Louisiana and Mississippi. And then as it goes across for the southeast for Friday and Saturday. Showing in the latest run that just come out, showing the same information. This is more likely going to spark up right off the coast of Texas. It's going to move more inland as we go through Wednesday evening, more likely seeing that tropical storm forming up right there in the Gulf, everybody. Tropical Storm Arthur. Then as that moves further towards the east, staying a strong system, and then across the southeast, bringing more winds. Now, every time you see this low pressure strengthening back up like this, you see how it goes off and on. Every time you see it strengthening up, this is also bringing that tornado threat across the southeast. For Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and maybe across the Carolinas, the latest run shows it might weaken down across the Carolinas, so it's going back and forth, but I will keep you updated. Look at the latest information and the latest trends. This is the Canadian. Agreeing also, by the time we go towards Tuesday evening, we're going to get that tropical system forming right off the coast of Texas. It will move further east where it could turn into that tropical storm. Then it gets pulled around the south and the southeast. Now, not only a tropical storm that could form, we have a 20% chance of this actually getting stronger, everybody. So the longer this stays right off the coast, remember it's going to be big and broad, it's going to be pulling in all the instability, it's going to be pulling all that tropical moisture, and it's going to strengthen up as soon as that trough lets go of it, is going to do its own thing. Even the latest GEOS satellite that was trending yesterday on the strong system, look at this, showing it could strengthen up very quickly as we go through Wednesday, and it could get a tropical storm just like we're seeing with the Euro as well, and it shows it could keep that strength as it goes across, everybody, then maybe weaken down for a moment and then strengthen back up. We need to take this seriously. This could be a very strong event, bringing a lot of tornadoes, a lot of damage and winds, and just a catastrophic flooding event should be enough in itself. Now, normally I would brush that off, but when you go by the Euro ensembles, the ensembles is showing that could happen, everybody. Exactly what the GEOS satellite is showing. Then showing it should wean down and maybe weaken down as it moves further inland. You can see the possibility showing maybe something strong, then it's maybe something weak. So it's still at that 50-50 mark. But what we're seeing with the GEOS satellite, we're also seeing in the Euro ensembles. So I'm going to take you to the ensemble so you can see what each one is showing. I'm showing it's about a 20% chance for this to strengthen up past a strong tropical storm potentially, everybody. Look at this. The first 25, remember Euro's the most accurate. It has 50 members. Showing something could form up very quickly like we've seen with the GEOS satellite over here in the 18 block. But also showing in the other ones shortly afterwards that this also could start forming up You see it over here as well, and start strengthening up. You also see it up here, showing it would be a little bit late bloomer more likely, but it will start strengthening up across the members. Now look at the other 25, and we look particularly across the southern half. You will see a good agreement with these ensembles that something is trying to form up right across the south and the southeast, and that is very strong. If you look down here at the pressure system, that's going to a strong tropical storm trying to be a high-grade tropical storm, maybe even a low-grade hurricane, everybody, as this gets pulled across the south and east. So remember, I do have you covered. I will keep you updated. I will see you every day this week with updates in the afternoon so you know the new information. And the flash flooding situation is even worse. We have a moderate risk every day. So let's go through the latest information of who's at risk. So for today, for your flash flooding, you have not only a big slight risk, but you have all this moderate level risk. So all the way from southern Texas going all the way towards Victoria, towards Houston, you're in a moderate risk for heavy flooding for today. Not to mention San Antonio, Austin, going all the way towards Beaumont into Louisiana, from Shreveport, Alexandria, Lake Charles, all the way towards Baton Rouge. But then you have that moderate risk again going all the way from Louisiana into Mississippi towards Vicksburg and Jackson. Now, this will grow as we go through the week. Now, for today, you also got the slight risk going into Alabama. Now, as we go through for tomorrow, look how this stays in this pattern, but this is where it's going to move as we go through for Wednesday. So for tomorrow, once again, you're going to stay in this moderate risk for flash flooding. This is going to be really bad, so pay attention, especially in Houston. You have so much cement over there. The water has nowhere to go into the ground. This is going to bring a lot of flooding. And right here again in Mississippi going into Jackson. Now, as we go through Wednesday, this is where the jet stream takes it on the move, and we get our flooding event across the north with our severe weather. So you're in a slight risk, all this yellow, chances for flash flooding for Wednesday. Also across the south, it stays again. And once again, all the way from Corpus Christi towards Houston into Beaumont and Lake Charles. A big hot spot where we're going to get a lot of flooding, everybody. This is going to be a serious event. And as we go into Thursday, it is there again. But now it's getting pulled north by the jet stream, and the moderate risk has moved. So you're still over here in the slight risk from Houston all the way towards Beaumont, still in the moderate risk. But now you're in Louisiana from Lafayette, Lake Charles, Alexandria, Monroe, and still into Jackson, Mississippi. This is going to bring a lot of flooding, everybody. And you see the slight risk is going all the way up on that high ridge, all the way towards West Virginia into Pennsylvania. Even on Friday is going to be there again with this slight risk for flash flooding. I believe this will go up. I believe we will see a day or two with a very high risk. Showing in a national blend of models, bringing a heavy amount of precipitation all the way across Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, also into Georgia. Look at this with the Weather Prediction Center, showing the same thing, but showing even a heavier amount, everybody. Then when you look with the Euro brings that system strengthening, and it brings heavier amount of rainfall into eastern Texas, Louisiana, into Mississippi. So be aware of this. This is going to be a very dangerous situation. And you can see the new totals here, everybody. So this is what's expected and who is at risk. So take a look here, all the way from these cities, from San Antonio to Houston, towards Corpus Christi, all the way down towards Reynosa. You have a lot of rainfall coming into your direction. Please be aware of this. And it gets even heavier as it goes from Houston towards Galveston and Beaumont. This is a big hot spot for the heaviest amount of rainfall. And look how it goes a little bit northern as it goes through Louisiana, through Alexandria, towards Monroe, right into Jackson. Still very heavy coming across from Mississippi into Alabama, even into western Georgia. This is only for the next 5 days, this amount of rainfall. So please be aware, this is bringing catastrophic flooding, very dangerous situations. Please make sure you check on your neighbors and check on the pets, everybody. This is going to go from okay to bad real quick. Plus, we have the second event. This second storm coming through is going to bring a dangerous situation as well. For tomorrow, for Tuesday, when that weak low pressure coming through before the main event comes through, bringing a threat for tornadoes across the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, a 2%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for this. This will be an evening event. You also have a wind threat and a hail threat in the same locations. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind and hail as well for tomorrow, for Tuesday. Showing as we go through for tomorrow, we're still getting these storms over here along the south, all the way into Louisiana and Mississippi. But this is where our storms really strengthen for the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes as we go through for tomorrow evening. This is where you get your tornado threat starting in Indiana. You see some supercells coming through, also some damaging winds. And as it moves a little bit east into Ohio, it weakens down. So I really think the tornado threat could be possibly a little bit over here for western Michigan, but it turns into damaging winds and scattered thunderstorms. I think the real threat is going to be over here for northern Indiana as we go through for tomorrow evening, bringing that threat for tornadoes. Now, this is going to go further. We can only see so far with HRRR. But you can see as we go through for Wednesday, as a storm system comes across, is bringing the tornado threat first for across Indiana, northern Illinois, into Wisconsin. But it's also going to bring this straight line damage and wind event as we get into squall line forming up for Wednesday evening. While we're getting the strong storms coming in for Texas and Louisiana, this is bringing your tornado threat down here as well. So remember what I showed you from Colorado State University. Showing all night Wednesday, we'll have this all across Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, going towards Kansas and Missouri, while we're getting that along the Gulf Coast, all the way towards Thursday morning, where it still brings some storms across Missouri, but you still have this system in Louisiana, bringing a big tornado threat. Please be aware of this. I don't think that's being talked about enough about the tornado threat that's going to transpire from the remnants of Christina, from this system that's forming, everybody. Please take this seriously. I know a lot of people are not taking this seriously. This is going to be a very bad event. Already bad. We already have life-threatening saves going on in Texas. It's very hard to get alerts out when people are downplaying this. Look at the severe weather for Wednesday. It's going to be significant. Chances for strong tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Wednesday. And you can see this from National Weather Service. An all-hazard severe thunderstorm episode is expected across portions of the middle Mississippi Valley into Indiana on Wednesday. Intense thunderstorms may produce swaths of damaging winds as well as strong tornadoes and large hail. And Thursday as well, which I think could grow to a little enhanced feature for West Virginia going across Virginia and Maryland. So here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather event for Thursday. And here we are back at this shot again. And now we're starting to get the flooding going on over here into Mississippi. The boulevard was flooded. Water depth on the eastbound side was 1 to 2 feet. Plus the ongoing flooding that's happening over here into Texas. Water rescues at the 100 block of CR 472 in Coupland. Roads are impassable. Road closures. Vehicles being swept away downstream, everybody. Remember, if you see a flooded road, do not go across it. You don't know if that road's broken and you're going to go down into a very deep problem. Please take this seriously, everybody. This is going to be a very dangerous situation. It already is. Now, we'll see this afternoon for the latest update, so you have the correct latest information, everybody. And I can't say this enough, everybody. Please think of your neighbors. Please help their pets. Do what you can do, because this is going to be a significant event, everybody. Before I go, a quick word from our Father, a quick reminder for you. Proverbs 27, 10 through 12. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. Neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother that is far off. My son, be wise, and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that reproacheth me. A prudent man foreseeth the evil, and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Amen. Please make sure you alert your neighbors, everybody. This significant event isn't just going to be for today. This is going all week. I appreciate your help. Remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope He keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Be safe, everybody. I'll see you this afternoon.